the wildest thing we've found inside the sun, and we still don't know how it keeps burning. Welcome to the oven of the universe. Get ready to learn what you should never stare at directly. Because today, on Mind Blown Space, we're going into the very heart of the Sunday. But before that, imagine this: an anomaly never before seen by astronomers, detected in its core, something no one dares to mention yet. What exactly have they found? You'll know at the end. So stay, subscribe, and hold on tight. The sun, that incandescent ball that looks calm in the sky, is actually a constant nuclear madness. At its center, where the temperature makes any earthly oven look like a camping fridge, there's a dance of subatomic particles that defies logic. How hot? Relax, because we're talking more than 15 million degrees Kelvin. Not even Earth's thermonuclear bombs could compete with that energy. There, in that elegant hell, nuclear fusion takes place. Hydrogen atoms squeeze against each other until they become helium. But they don't stay quiet. No, they release energy in the process. A lot of it. So much that a single second of solar production could power all of humanity for hundreds of thousands of years. But of course, we prefer to keep using oil. Brilliant decision. And here comes the truly twisted part. The sunlight you see, the one that warms your face in the morning, is old. Not old like your 5-year-old phone. Old like a letter that never arrived. Because the photons born in the sun's core take tens of thousands of years to reach the surface. They bounce into particles, lose their path, get deflected. It's like trying to cross a packed stadium blindfolded and without GPS. The physics behind this is so strange that some have called it the slowest traffic in the universe. None of this is visible to the naked eye, but it happens constantly while you eat breakfast, take a shower, or yell in traffic because someone didn't use their blinker. And that detail, that cosmic delay, reminds us that the universe is never in a hurry. But it does keep secrets, many of them, and scientists have only just begun to scratch the surface of our star. When the sun throws fire, and you're in the middle of it, forget everything you knew about storms. Because when the sun decides to sneeze, the entire universe finds out. And so do you, even if you don't notice. Solar eruptions are not just simple plasma explosions. They are colossal insults aimed at human technology, with all the elegance of a flare millions of kilometers long. Yes, millions. We're not exaggerating, because this isn't cosmic poetry, it's burning reality. These events, known as coronal mass ejections, happen when the sun's magnetic fields decide to fight each other. And the result? A shockwave of charged particles traveling through space at speeds that would make any test pilot cry with envy. When one of these monsters points at Earth, we feel it. Satellites fail, communications go haywire, and if you're lucky, you might see auroras dancing in the northern skies, as if the planet were celebrating its own doom with fireworks. Now, the truly curious thing is that all this begins with a simple spot. That's right, the same sunspots you see in images as little dark scars are actually epicenters of chaos. And if you thought the sun was a uniform and calm ball, it's because you've never looked at it through an extreme ultraviolet lens. It's like going from seeing a quiet puddle to discovering an ocean with invisible tsunamis. During one of the most intense peaks of solar activity in recent decades, these spots were responsible for launching solar material that reached Earth in less than 2 days. Does that sound like much? For a distance of more than 150 million kilometers, that's practically teleportation with bad temper included. But of course, being the good humans we are, we decided to put satellites right in the line of fire. And every time the sun has one of these fits of rage, it's like playing Russian roulette with our power grid. And what do we do to protect ourselves? Basically pray and turn things off. So the next time you look at the sky thinking about sunny vacations, remember that bright point is actually an angry ball of plasma trying to electrocute you in style. The sun also has weather, and it's worse than yours. You thought weather was an Earth-exclusive problem, right? Hurricanes, heat waves, treacherous snowfalls. Well, it turns out our beloved sun also has its own weather, and it's 1,000 times more temperamental. But we're not talking about rain or wind, we're talking about solar storms, coronal holes, and winds that wouldn't just blow away your hat, but probably your favorite satellite too. Coronal holes, for example, aren't physical cracks. They're regions where the sun's magnetic field is so messy it opens into space, allowing solar wind to escape at full speed. These winds are streams of particles traveling at hundreds of kilometers per second. When they aim at Earth, we get the perfect cocktail for chaos, beautiful auroras, and very unromantic blackouts. And here comes a gem of cosmic absurdity: solar rain. Yes, the sun has that too. But don't get confused. We're not talking about raindrops or rainbows. We're talking about plasma, the kind of material that would fry you before you could say umbrella. This phenomenon, called coronal rain, happens when part of the ejected plasma fails to escape the sun's magnetic field. It cools and falls back, forming bright cascades of incandescent material. And yes, scientists find it poetic. Another solar oddity is spicules, tiny jets of plasma that burst like geysers into the atmosphere. The fascinating and slightly insulting part is that these structures appear, shoot upward, and vanish within minutes, at speeds that make any sports car look like a rusty tricycle. Until recently, nobody understood how they formed. Then they discovered that the neutral particles in plasma, the ones everyone ignored, were the culprits. The very same particles that don't even have an electric charge. There they are, stealing the spotlight as the unexpected stars of a space drama. And of course, all this spectacle happens constantly, without asking permission or offering apologies. We, simple inhabitants of an insignificant planet, just watch from a distance, hoping the next solar storm doesn't decide to turn our devices into vintage decorations. Because the sun's weather doesn't care about vacations or forecasts. It's capricious, brutal, and absolutely unpredictable. And the worst part, we still don't know everything it can do, what they found inside the sun and don't want to explain to you. We've reached the moment many were waiting for. And no, this is not an exaggeration from some cosmic talk show host. It's something scientists have only just begun to mention between the lines, with that expression of yes, we saw it, but let's not talk too much about it. Because when they pointed their telescopes toward the sun's interior using the most advanced helioseismology models, they ran into a pattern that didn't match absolutely anything that was expected. Nothing. First, a brief clarification. Humans cannot see the sun's core with normal telescopes, not even with the latest generation ones that look straight out of a science fiction movie. But there's a trick. Seismic waves. The sun vibrates, shakes, and rumbles like a deranged plasma bell. And by analyzing those waves, we can see what its interior looks like. Or at least, that's what we thought. What was discovered was a set of oscillations that seemed to come from a region that shouldn't exist, a bump in the radiative zone with an inexplicable frequency. Instead of propagating smoothly, as has always been assumed to happen in that inner layer, the waves reflected as if something denser, more compact were there. As if inside the core there were a different structure. Degenerate matter? Some kind of dead star inside the sun? There are no clear answers. What's certain is that since this finding, many researchers have begun to question the simplicity of the standard solar model. And some, the boldest ones, have even suggested we could be dealing with an internal gravitational anomaly, a double core, a collapsed object trapped since its formation. The theories are on the table, and they all sound equally ridiculous and possible. But of course, saying this out loud means admitting we've been observing our star for centuries without truly understanding what happens inside it. And science doesn't like to admit it's fallen short, much less when it comes to the star that keeps our whole system alive. So next time you look at the sun, remember this. We may be orbiting something far more mysterious than we ever imagined. And if we don't know, it's not because we're not looking enough. It's because maybe the sun doesn't want us to understand it. Thank you for watching Mind Blown Space. Subscribe to keep discovering the secrets the universe would rather bury in burning plasma. Here we don't shine, we burn. Until next time.